Thank you, Magic Mike, and thank you for tuning in to this hour of On the House with us, the Carey brothers. I'm Morris, he's James, and we're coming to you live from the Pacific Coast Builders Conference, San Diego, California, San Diego Convention Center. What a great show. We're having so much fun. All kinds of new products. I'm telling you, this is a year for game changers. And with us...
It is a game-changing year.
Yes, and with us up first this hour is Larry Aker, and he has a company called Wild Cards. And I saw this in the show
How appropriate,
yesterday.
because he's such a wild kind of guy.
Yeah, he's a wild guy. Now, Larry has a hot water recirculating system, and we were there at his booth looking at the product, which is really wonderful. And while we were there, Larry said, "Here, have this deck of cards." And I said, "I don't need a deck of cards." No.
It's got five kings.
It's special. And so, Larry, tell us about this deck of cards that is so fascinating.
It's very
to me.
cool. It has nothing to do with building, but Morris was so impressed with it, he asked you to come and share.
Well, it has a lot to do with consumers, and we have nothing but consumers listening to our program.
Well, it's more about natural resources.
We're out of time.
I'm sorry, that's it.
Go ahead.
Go ahead, Larry.
Natural resources are primarily, we think of water and oil and that kind of thing, but food is our major natural resource.
Yes.
Okay.
And these are edible wild foods. Foraging has been something that's not been actually, it's sort of out of sync with what we're doing today.
We don't forage today.
We don't forage today.
There are some guys guys and gals who go into the forest and live on the forest.
We process today.
That's right. We cook and process everything.
So how many cards are in this deck?
There's 52.
It's really 52 cards.
Right.
And on each card, I see on this card, for example, it says a dock. That's the name of a plant. It shows the location where it's located in the world. And then on the back, it tells all about this dock plant.
Right, what you can do, how you can eat it, and if you're not sure, there's a way of checking it before you kill yourself.
Right.
This is fascinating.
And
I can't imagine that anyone in America going camping without having this in their kit.
I told you that my soon-to-be Eagle Scout, my 15-year-old boy, is going to really enjoy this deck of cards.
Absolutely.
We do a lot of camping.
These were developed about 30 years ago by the woman who actually is the world's national that does foraging. It's well known worldwide. It's called Linda Runyon.
He told me that Ewell Gibbons designed these.
No.
Ewell Gibbons choked on pine nuts.
Ewell Gibbons changed his name. It's now Linda Runyon.
Okay.
We won't go there.
All right.
But seriously.
There's a lot of that going on.
I know. I'm aware of it.
Okay. That's not for this program, okay?
Okay, go ahead.
But the military used this in their survival school.
It's wonderful.
For over 20 years. So they're very accurate, and they're waterproof, and they can be taken with you.
Where can our listeners and viewers get these cards?
The best way to get them would be to call our 800 number and ask for wild cards, and we have
that is
1-800-638-5863.
638-5863. We'll put that in the show notes section of our website at onthehouse.com. Larry Aker.
Just ask for wild cards.
How much are they?
They run $11.95 a deck. If you
Worth
buy
every penny.
Or if you buy 4, they're like $8.95. So they're a great stocking.
This is a stocking stuffer for
sure. And you give our best to Ewell and Caitlin.
No, it's Linda. It's
Linda.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Ewell and Linda, James.
Close enough. I'll probably hear from Linda on this, I'm sure.
Larry Aker.
Thanks, Larry. We appreciate you coming by.
Moving on.
We have a fellow here that has a bird's nest on his T-shirt chest. It says nest. So we must be talking about waterfowl or something.
I don't think so.
His name is Matt Thompson. Matt, tell us what you're here to talk about.
Well, after that interview, I'm not sure where this is going to go.
Yeah, that's right. Well, I'm a technology lover. I love technology, and you have a product called Nest, and you've got to be living under a rock not to know what the Nest is. But this Nest thermostat apparently senses your lifestyle and adjusts accordingly so that it knows when you're home, when you're not home, and you don't. It's a self-programming thermostat. Is that accurate?
You know what? You've done a very good job with that. Your Nest is your home. That's kind of the genesis of our name and where it comes from. And we We envision a home that will actually take care of us instead of a home that we have to take care of. So we like to say that we reinvent the unloved products in the home. And one of those is the thermostat. That's the one that we started with.
Yeah.
Unlike a traditional programmable thermostat, which someone has to program, and then they have to follow that program, or else they inevitably put it in hold because they get frustrated with it. The Nest Learning thermostat's a little different. When we've installed it on the wall, all we need that homeowner to do is just make the changes that make them comfortable. So they can do that at the thermostat, or they can do it from an app or from a computer.
So you turn a dial or hit a button or whatever it is
Yep.
to make yourself comfortable, and then that's all there is to it.
That's exactly right.
And it has a clock in it, and it knows what time of day it is and what you're doing to it.
That's the
and
key.
it remembers that.
So it's going to memorize the time and temperatures that you choose, and then after a couple of days, it's going to begin just doing that automatically for you.
And manufacturer's suggested retail?
We retail at $249.99.
$249. Wonderful.
But because the product doesn't get put into hold, it delivers the energy savings that we were always
Would you sell
looking
it for $249.98?
Believe it or not, I can't.
Okay.
Tell us about that camera that's sitting there.
So this camera is called the Nest Cam, and it is replacing a product that was previously known as a drop cam.
Yes, indeed. I'm familiar with it.
Well, this one you don't drop.
Please don't drop it.
Yes,
Right.
okay. All right.
It's
This
a
is
very simple wireless camera.
High definition.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
If you're familiar with the drop cam that was around previously, this one's very similar, but we're actually streaming a little better image now. So we're streaming 1080 instead of 720. So you get
amazing.
This is something that's great for a baby's room, so you can watch what baby's doing.
One wire to power.
Correct.
And the rest works off Wi-Fi.
That's right. It all streams to the cloud. So that baby's room is a great application. It's a great camera to know what's going on when I'm not there.
And what's this other thing, this white square thing?
That is the Nest Protect smoke and CO alarm.
Oh, boy.
Now, I mean, how do you, I don't know how you tie a thermostat and a camera in with a smoke detector. Sure. How does that all tie together?
Gotcha. So let me give you a little background first. It's a smoke and CO alarm that will actually speak to you and give you some information besides just beeping and screaming and chirping.
For example?
If you have a rise in smoke or CO in the home, before you reach the alarm level, it will literally speak up and say, heads up, there's smoke in the dining room, for example.
Okay.
So it'll tell you what the problem is and where the problem is.
So you can have multiple units throughout the house.
Absolutely.
For example, the building code requires a smoke detector in each sleeping area, in each bedroom. Would you put one of these in each
Absolutely. So we always recommend that you follow your local codes.
Battery or hardwire?
One of each.
One of each.
Yep.
Okay. And does it need to be tested periodically like you do other units?
You know, I'm glad you brought that up because very few people know that they need to test theirs.
Okay.
The new Nest Protect, which you're holding, that we launched last week, will actually self-test now during an unoccupied time period.
I'll be darned.
So the homeowner no longer has to go get a broom handle and press the button.
All right, Matt, very quickly, the drop cam, which is the Nest Cam, sells for?
$199.
And
the smoke CO?
Is $99.
Fantastic. And our audience can get more information by going to?
You know what? Nest.com.
Nest.com.
Correct.
It's
Cool.
that simple.
Okay.
And I've seen you in the Apple Store.
More on the
That's
house
correct.
coming up.
Thank you much, guys.
Continuing live from the Pacific Coast Builders Conference, having a look at the latest and greatest in building products and technology for your home, on the house, on the road, extending thanks to Panasonic Ventilation for sponsoring our remote broadcast from this, our 30th year at the Pacific Coast Builders Conference. And there is no shortage of outstanding products for your home here. Home security is one of the big categories, and we are joined at our broadcast location by a young lady who knows a lot about decorative home security. She is Sarah Nickenchuck with Allegion, and one of their brands is Schlage. Welcome to the program, Sarah.
Thanks for having us.
So I saw this product, the electronic lock, introduced by Schlage many years ago, and it's just gotten better and better. So tell us a little bit about the evolution of this lock.
Sure. So this is our first Bluetooth lock. Previously we've had Z-Wave locks, and now we're evolving, and this lock will be available later this year and will be compatible with Apple's HomeKit system. So we're really excited about it. And
Wait a minute. When you say Bluetooth, does that mean that I unlock it with my iPhone?
yes. So it's really an out-of-the-box solution for home automation. And so you download the Schlage app, and it's really easy programming. So all managing the user codes is all done through the app. Really easy.
That really is a wonderful step, because I have the product in my home now. I have 1, 2.
What isn't there an app for?
3 or 4 different these locks. As a matter of fact, we have one of these on the house studio and workshop.
Okay.
And so you're right. It's challenging. It's challenging. So what you've done is simplified it.
Right. And so it's really, there's no monthly subscription fees, and the app is free. You just download
Oh, really?
it and you're good to go.
You've eliminated the subscription.
You buy the lock, you got the Bluetooth, you're using it, and the cost of the lock is the cost of everything.
Yep.
Love it.
That's a wonderful
Okay, now what do I
advance.
have to pay for the app? $100?
Nothing. You
Nothing.
just download it.
Okay,
Yeah.
all
Now,
right.
we should
all right,
say,
I like
so
that.
for people who aren't familiar with what this will do, they can unlock the door remotely. There was years ago, I had a service person at the door that said, you know,
Now, wait
I'm
a
here
minute.
to
Wait
get
a
in.
minute. She didn't say we could unlock it remotely. She said we could Bluetooth it. Now, can we unlock it remotely?
With the Apple TV that will serve as the hub for that.
Oh, the Apple TV
Yes.
serves as a hub for
so
this?
So if you didn't have Apple TV, you'd still have Bluetooth access to your home within the range.
How about Wi-Fi?
Not currently.
Okay.
So just Bluetooth.
Okay.
Bluetooth is cool, and I have Apple TV. I love this.
There you go. And the manufacturer suggested retail?
About $229, and will be available in retail later this year.
And what else is new with the Schlage brand?
So shifting to mechanical, Schlage has really the past year put a big emphasis on style and design and looking at other industry trends. So our product team, the lock the first one you're looking at is our new satin brass finish.
Nice, very nice.
And so really good for remodeling projects for those that have may have grandma's bright brass knobs at home and don't want to change their hinges.
What's the price point on these?
They just started shipping last month, so they're really
probably
affordable.
in the $30 to $50 range, probably, depending upon whether they're passage or privacy or key lock.
Right, but they're for middle price point locks. They're really affordable and an easy way to add that personal touch to your home project.
What's this Bluetooth lock puppy worth?
That will retail about $229. I believe.
Love it.
She's Sarah, Nick, and Chuck. How may our
affordable.
audience get more information on Legion and Schlage products?
Visit Schlage.com and find all you need on our website.
Phenomenal. Thanks for
Wonderful.
visiting with
Yeah,
us.
thanks for having me.
All right. Wonderful. And you want to check out the video of our program because Sarah's got such a great smile. So,
Oh, yeah.
if you're listening, you can go to onthehouse.com, check out every moment of all 4 hours of our remote broadcast from the Pacific Coast Builders Conference through our YouTube channel. Thank you, Sarah. Okay.
Yeah, and yesterday we were walking down the cherished halls of the PCBC looking at all the exhibitors' products, and we ran into what? Lawn. Indoor lawn called Easy Turf, and with us is Johnny Kane.
Well, it's indoor because it's in an exhibit hall, but it's not designed particularly for indoor.
No,
it's synthetic
designed,
turf.
well, you can put this outdoor.
Sure you can.
It just depends on where you want it.
That's right.
Because it's synthetic turf.
Yes, indeed.
Johnny, tell us about it.
Well, you are correct. It can go inside, it can go outside. Most of the folks around the country know us from Field Turf. We are part of Field Turf. They're our parent company. So that's an easy segue. Most folks know us from the football fields. The way we explain it with Easy Turf is we are the commercial division of it. So anything that per se doesn't have a track, a football field, then we handle that. So we do a lot of the indoor.
When this stuff came out well over 15 years ago, maybe 20, closer to 20,
right?
It looked synthetic.
Yes.
It looked fake.
Yes.
Because everything went under the lawn and nothing went over the lawn to make it look real. Now, don't you guys put a sand or something in the lawn when you install it?
That is correct.
So that when you open the fibers, you actually see a little earth. And this stuff doesn't look anything like it originally did. It's absolutely magnificent.
It has come a long, long way.
I just can't believe it. What are you guys doing to make it different, to make it better?
As Field Turf, we are the world's largest manufacturer of turf. So
but what are you doing to make it better?
We're constantly innovating it. So right now the big concern is heat, for instance. So
yeah,
on the
right.
sports fields.
Yeah, a lot of people are concerned about heat for residential use.
That's correct.
It's so hot, and I've had synthetic turf, so I know it gets hot.
Yes, it does.
The concerns are heat. The concerns are pets. The concerns are permeability and backing.
Yes.
And lasting quality. So let's talk about some of those.
You hit on everything, exactly right. Most of the folks, for residential applications, about 85% of our customers all have pets. The biggest concern is the drainage, and that's the biggest knock on some of the previous versions, if you will. Our backing is 100% permeable. We're in all of the humane societies here in San Diego County. We're partnered with Cesar Millan. Part of that is due to the drainage.
So everything goes down to the substrate just like it always has.
I can tell you.
But no stain.
Always.
But no
That's
stain.
correct.
I can tell you.
Yeah.
Candidly, from experience, it's better than regular turf.
Yes.
In as much as I have 2 pets, they did everything on it. It was very simple to keep clean. Somebody said, well, was there an odor? Never.
Right.
Never an odor. Now, do you use a rubber pad below your product, or do you use compacted fines?
Generally, we use an aggregate base, a crushed
I like
stone.
that. I like that better than the foam pad because, again, I think that's better when you have pets and
Yes.
with the drainage.
You're correct. So we do use the base application for landscape applications. We do use the pad in the event of a playground kind of application
right.
where you need a
The
critical
only
fall
thing
height.
in the world.
Yeah, the Consumer Product Safety Commission requires that.
The only thing in the world I'm allergic to when I lay down is grass.
Okay.
When I get up off a fresh lawn, I start itching. That's the only thing on earth I've ever been allergic to, and I'm sitting here holding this in my arms.
That's one of the notes I have here as a feature benefit. And just to address the heat there, most of the concern does come from the football fields. That's because you have a top layer of rubber that's just baking in the sun, so you do get that additional heat. With this stuff here, it does get hotter than real grass. You guys obviously know.
Yeah, I
it
mean,
doesn't have water coursing through it.
But it's okay. Even though it was hot, it wasn't.
It doesn't get as hot as the sidewalk or any of the surrounding surfaces.
Right.
So
That needs to be clear.
Listen, you're not going to find a product that's going to be 100% perfect, that's going to meet every expectation that you have. I think the savings in water, the savings in mowing, in gas, in oil, in energy, there's a lot to be said for this.
Absolutely.
And as a synthetic turf owner, I have to tell you, I think it's one of the best decisions I made for my home.
Ditto. Ditto.
So,
I did too.
There you have it.
From my personal experience, I mean, it's even much cleaner. I live out in Ramona. We've got a little bit of land.
No
and the dogs were dragging in dirt and mud. And
by the way, you'd never know it's synthetic turf because the thatch and the way it's being manufactured.
It's just unbelievable.
Now. Cost installed these days, what is it about?
There's a range.
$15 a square foot, $10.
You're safe. 10 to 12, depending upon if you're on the commercial side or the residential side. Obviously, you're going to have size differences.
400 square feet, $4,000.
Correct.
Johnny Kane, Easy Turf. Go to easyturf.com. Thanks for joining us, Johnny.
My pleasure. Thanks for having us.
Keeping it green. All right. Listen, we're keeping it green here at the PCBC. There's more coming up after this break.
You bet.
Stay with us.
Thank you, Magic Mike, and thank you for tuning in to this half of this hour of On the House with us, the Carey brothers, coming to you live from the Pacific Coast Builders Conference in San Diego, California, San Diego Convention Center. What a great upscale show. Terrific products. I've seen more game changers today in products than I've seen in 10 years.
That's right. We want to extend a thanks to Panasonic Ventilation for sponsoring our remote broadcast from this year's Pacific Coast Builders Conference. It's our 30th year at PCBC, and we were just kids.
Yeah,
you can get more information on Panasonic products and how you can improve indoor air quality in your home by going to panasonic.com/vent fans. And boy, I'm telling you, technology is something that we're seeing a lot about at this show, and we're joined by a couple of guys who know a lot about technology and improving the visibility in your home with lighting and lighting devices. And we're joined by Tim Dinkle, and Tim is with Eaton Wiring Devices.
And
Tim, welcome to the program.
Thank you. Happy to be here.
And Glenn Siegel, who is with Eaton Lighting.
Correct.
So we have a couple of lighting experts here. And I want to remind our listeners, guys, about something that we saw, that I saw at my electric supplier's store, which was a recessed light fixture that fits over a surface mount can, a box. And I was so fascinated by that I took the literature back to our studio and talked about it not once but twice. You guys make that.
Yes, our SLD from Halo.
Yeah.
It seems as though you guys are coming up with these kinds of solutions in other ways, because yesterday I saw a wall switch that fits on the surface of the wall without any penetration, and it's wireless.
Will you let Tim speak, because he does such a beautiful job. Tim, you did such a great demo at your booth yesterday showing us how this technology works. Share with it for our audience, both on radio and on video.
Well, thank you. I appreciate the opportunity. The Anyplace switch is a battery-operated wall switch which can be paired with a dimmer switch or receptacle from our Aspire RF line. They're available in kits, which include both the battery-powered switch and the master device, be it a receptacle switch or dimmer. Once the master device is installed in the wall and powered up, we simply tap the battery switch 3 times, press the button on the master switch, and the two are automatically paired.
All right, now let me interpret this. So, if I have an existing single pole switch, which means I have one switch that controls a light, and I'd like to have that light controlled in another location, which is typically referred to as a 3-way.
Correct.
What I do is I take the existing single pole switch out, I put one of your new enabled switches in its place.
Correct.
And then I take this thin wafer, which is the size of a graham cracker, and I place it at the location that I'd like to have it. I push a button or two so that it learns, and I'm good to go. I didn't have to pull out the angle head drill. I didn't have to crawl the attic or crawl space. I didn't have to run wire. I didn't have to cut a hole in the wall, put a cut-in box.
I'm not putting any pressure on any new pressure on the electrical system.
That is exactly correct. And you didn't have to hire a drywall guy or a painter to try to match that stuff you just
Or an
messed up.
electrician.
I'm aroused.
I'm moving away.
So what am I paying for all of that?
Ballpark in a retail
$200.
environment around $100. Dramatically less than you would pay for the drywall guy.
You're kidding me, dude. You've got to be kidding me. That's wonderful.
We've been paying
That's just
$50 a
wonderful.
piece for switches that don't do anything
All right.
like that.
Now, you've got something else, and I know we have to move. We could talk. We'll probably get you guys to do a whole hour, but here's the deal. And we're going to do a whole hour because I have every expectation that I'm going to be changing everything in my house.
We're going to do a whole hour because the consumers need to know what you guys are doing.
Here's the one I love. You have an existing single pole switch, and you want to make it an existing single gang switch.
Correct.
That is one switch standalone, and you want to make it a double.
Yes.
Side by side, which is called a 2-gang.
A 2-gang, yes.
You can do that, and how do you do it?
We have an adapter plate, so you would take the wall plate off that single gang switch and replace it with this plate. If you look at the sides of the battery operated switch, you will see that they have little teeth, and they can be married together like this.
Oh, that's just terrific.
So on that single gang switch, you're going to have this assembly.
That's right. And then they both fit behind that beautiful.
And then those go behind that screwless.
So now we have one switch.
Plate.
Now we have one switch that's being currently used for the chandelier.
That's right.
And another switch that's being used for a wall receptacle that we changed.
That's correct.
Oh,
I got it.
I just love that. That's fantastic. Okay.
I mean, you're opening up possibilities for people to change the way their electrical is used in their homes.
Be still my heart.
It's really nice.
And,
yes.
And would it be the same website? Because we're going to shift very quickly and give Glenn the 1 minute of fame that he's entitled to. Same website?
Well, today
What
you will
website
still see this at cooperwiringdevices.com.
Okay, cooperwiringdevices.com. All right, take it away, Glenn. What have you got?
Well, I'm here to talk about the new Halo under cabinet series, the HU10.
Dude, I love it. Low profile, thin.
And it's what really the promise of LED today, where we now can get into much tighter spaces with a light source. And,
well, this is a task light that typically goes underneath an upper cabinet to light the kitchen counter area. But
sort of
this
like
is going to go in my closet under shelves so that I can see my pants and my suit jackets and my shirts and so on.
I think
now, what I'm holding is about 8 inches. This is the demonstration model.
No, it's actually it's 9-inch, so you can fit under a 12-inch cabinet. That's why we developed that.
Up to 4 feet.
Right, all the way up to 48 inches.
You make this in a 4-footer?
We do.
And dimmable to
down to 5%. With standard incandescent dimmer. So
guys, we gotta take a break.
Sure.
What is the website?
Cooperlighting.com or Eaton. You can get to Eaton.com as well.
Awesome.
Oh, this
Tim
is amazing.
Dinkle and Glenn Siegel. Eaton, thanks so much for lighting up our lives. You
Thank
guys
you
are
for
the
having
best.
us.
Okay, thanks.
All right, there's more from the Pacific Coast Builders Conference with you on the house after this. And we are back from the Pacific Coast Builders Conference, San Diego, thanks to Panasonic Ventilation, keeping the air clean here in San Diego and across the country, around the world with their indoor air quality solutions. Go to panasonic.com/ventfans for more information. What's underfoot is popular here. Boy, you want something that's durable, you want something that's comfortable, you want something that's attractive, and you want something that's green, not necessarily in color, but in terms of how it affects our carbon footprint. And here to tell you a little bit about that is Larry Brookshire. Larry is with Mohawk. Welcome to the program, Larry.
Thank you. Thanks for having us.
So you brought some samples of product that you... Now, Mohawk traditionally has been known as a carpet manufacturer. However, you're not a one-trick pony. You guys do apparently laminate product.
We do.
You do luxury vinyl tile, luxury vinyl planking.
Plank and tile.
And they're beautiful.
Yeah, thank you. Ceramic tile, porcelain, laminate floors, vinyl sheet products, as well as underfoot cushion, that goes under product for comfort.
Now, I'm excited because you brought a couple of carpet samples here, and let's talk about this first one, this 852 Party Mix, which is beautiful, which is part of your Loring Heights.
It is. That's a new collection for us this year, and just a little bit about the product, as I've mentioned, is we make that from 100%. This face fiber is 100% recycled plastic bottles. 100%
recycled plastic bottles.
It is. Goes through a collection process and a wash stage and a sorting stage, and goes to melt and comes right back out as a fiber. We recycle about 5 billion bottles with a B a year. A third of the bottles collected in North America come back through Mohawk for recycle and turn back into face fiber.
Now, if I asked you how much of the total fiber expressed in percentages consists of that material, what would you say? Is that 20%?
100%.
Face fiber.
100%.
So face fiber is this yarn, it's the walking surface as opposed to backing and...
Well, the backing's recycled content as well from different things inside our plant. This goes through the primary backing and comes back out.
I understand.
So, yeah, what's under and as well as what's above is face fiber, 100% recycled plastic bottle.
That's awesome. Now, this is the Southern Limits by Mohawk, a part of your Portico collection, and this too has Smart Strand. This is Smart Strand silk.
That is Smart Strand. That's a fiber, I'd say relatively new to the industry compared to say, PET or nylon, which has been around, 50, 60 years. Smart Strand just celebrated its 10th year anniversary into the flooring industry. It's an exclusive fiber for Mohawk. We co-partnered with DuPont to make that product.
It feels marvelous.
It's soft.
This is just beautiful.
It's the softest product in the market.
Oh boy, it is.
The most durable product in the market, and this year with its new Forever Clean nanotechnology, the easiest to clean product in the market as well.
How about the laminate, Larry?
Well, laminate is been around for quite some time as well. We own several marketing names in the street. You may have heard of Pergo over the years. We own that name. But
you own that name. So this is a floating floor.
Yeah.
This is not a engineered floor.
Correct. So laminate would be a floating floor to the product, where engineered is a product that could float, but most likely glued down.
Right,
yeah,
right.
That's correct.
How can our listeners get more information on Mohawk products?
Well, MohawkFlooring.com.
It's that simple.
You'll be glad to help.
Larry Brookshire, thanks for joining us at PCBC.
Thank you, guys.
All right, time to say hello to a guy that knows a lot about the architectural appearance of the interior of your home. He is with L&L, that's E-L and E-L Wood Products. He's Kip McClary. Kip, welcome to the program.
Howdy, gentlemen.
Boy, we bought a lot of L&L product over the years.
Have you?
And we're talking about not just casings. I mean, you do baseboard, you do casings, you do pediments. I mean,
crown moldings, baseboard.
All sorts of architectural elements.
We do. We do. We sell it in hardwood moldings, softwood moldings, and MDF moldings.
Now, when you say hardwood, you're talking about maybe oak, maybe walnut,
yeah,
maybe cherry?
A lot of your traditional species, maple, alder, oak, mahogany.
And in the softwoods, fir and pine?
Fir, pine, redwood, solid pine.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
And there are different types of MDF. MDF isn't just MDF. You've got two that I know of, and they are?
They are ultralight molding and medium density fiberboard, or LDF.
LDF, right.
So what is the advantage of using medium density fiberboard or instead
MDF instead of LDF?
MDF instead of LDF.
Well, the ultralight is the best product in the world. That is a superior product over any other MDF molding that you can buy.
Why?
Well, it acts and accepts nails like real wood. It doesn't pucker or volcano when you nail it off. Traditional old school MDF, medium density fiberboard or low density fiberboard is so dense that it doesn't accept a nail very well.
Don't get me started.
Yeah.
And now also it cuts really well too, and you can miter up something beautifully. Now this product comes primed, factory primed, typically these days.
It does.
I need to know something. In as much as tolerances are concerned with the light MDF, what do you call it? LDF? LDF. Are the tolerances finer with that material than they are with real wood, or are the thicknesses milled in the wood product better and more uniform? Because when you're using two different pieces at a miter, if there's a difference in the thickness of the material, you get a bad miter.
Yeah, I would say that your traditional wood species tend to have tighter tolerances.
Okay.
And the variable is with ultralight MDF is they take that raw MDF and they put the profile on it, but then they put it through a gesso coat system, which can have a slight variance.
Good-looking product. Want to dress up the interior of your home? Well, look to L&L Products, and you can go to their website at
LNLwoodproducts.com.
Fantastic.
Cool.
Kip McClary, thanks for joining us from the PCBC.
Thanks, guys.
There's more on the house, on the road, straight ahead.
And we are back, coming to you live from the Pacific Coast Building Conference, and we're in the waning moments of this hour.
Yeah, 30 years down.
Oh.
Seems just like yesterday.
Boy, just like yesterday.
And our thanks to Panasonic, the folks that make products to improve indoor air quality for your piece of the great American dream. You may visit their website. It is Panasonic.com/vent fans, and it's appropriate that we mention them because we have at our broadcast location here at the Pacific Coast Builders Conference Leon Van Ostend, and he is with Panasonic. Leon, welcome to the program.
Thank you for having me.
So indoor air quality is really an important issue as regards to legislation and building codes and all of that, notwithstanding the fact it's important to people living in homes.
Of course.
They're increasingly tighter, increasingly more energy efficient. There's off-gassing of building products like cabinets, furniture, flooring, and paint and all of that. You have a solution.
We have a solution. Traditionally, bringing fresh air into the home was done by an exhaust fan that was just exhausting air. and your replacement air was coming from the leaks and cracks in your home.
Sure.
Or your building structure.
Negative pressure.
Exactly.
Right.
Because of the homes are being built much tighter, much more energy efficient, those leaks are being plugged up.
They really are.
And it's not allowing...
With expanding foam and weather stripping and, you know, all of that.
And it's not allowing your home to breathe any longer. And so, you know, today's generation, they aren't opening up windows. Both parents or everybody in the home is out working. That home is closed up for the entire day.
Oh, sure. It's a security issue.
Exactly.
Right.
And so to bring in fresh air now, a lot of municipalities in the code is looking to possibly change into more of a balanced situation.
All right. How do we do that?
Well, you would still install one of our Whisper Green Select fans that would be exhausting air, but it would be controlled with a brain of...
Like a circuit board, if you will.
Exactly. That the HVAC contractor would program for how much air you would have to be bringing in continuously.
Okay.
So that you'd have a balanced situation and you wouldn't have a buildup of all the off-gassing and the bad air that's in the house that's trapped there.
Exactly. And so in the past, we relied on the cracks and crevices to bring in that fresh air.
And now we plugged them up, and now we don't have any fresh air coming in, so we have to bring it in by a machine.
But what's nice is what we've got is a damper
that
activates, and that draws the fresh air from the outside without having to open a window, so that you're getting improved indoor air quality.
But it's filtered.
And you don't need to be there for this to happen, and you don't need to compromise security or safety by having to open a window. You're not suggesting that you don't open windows.
No, definitely not.
I mean, this is not an alternative to opening windows. It is...
In addition to.
It's in addition to.
So when you're gone and the windows are closed, you can still get filtered fresh air coming in mechanically instead of all air leaking in,
so that
as was yesteryear.
So when you come home, you're not coming home to a toxic environment. You're coming home to a
fresh environment.
A home that's nice and fresh.
So the Whisper Green Select, which by the way is a phenomenal fan, folks.
Yeah,
if you
I got to tell you, it is.
It's got the Pick-a-Flow technology where you can change the CFM volume on the fan, and you can use the plug-and-play technology that incorporates everything from an energy-efficient LED to a condensation sensor to a motion sensor and to a multi-speed motor that is a DC, which means that it's just completely energy efficient.
Why have we been talking about Panasonic fans for 2 decades?
2 decades.
Because they're the best in the industry, and we used them exclusively for 20 years. And this partnering with Panasonic was just a logical...
It was a natural, right.
Yeah, it was a natural because we've always liked to install upscale products in the remodels that we've built over the years, and Panasonic is definitely an upscale product.
So if you're wheezing, if you're sneezing, if you're scratching, if you want to improve indoor air quality, if you're tired of mold, mildew, condensation buildup, sweating windows, and even foul odors,
get rid of your pets.
And you don't want to hear the noisy fan, and you want it to work automatically, Panasonic has a solution for you, and Leon is here to... He's living proof. Leon, our audience can get more information on the product that you mentioned today by going where?
To panasonic.com/ventfan.
How about that?
Oh, great.
All right, thanks for joining us from the Pacific Coast Builders Conference. You're listening to On the House with the Carey Brothers.
Yeah.